Hey, aloha, my friends. I'm going to recommend that you quickly jump over for this live. Hi, Kurt. Good to see you, buddy. I'm going to recommend that you jump over to this link for now, okay? And what you can do if you want to is just type into your search. Now, put spaces between, but Brian space D space Ridgway with that spelling. If you do that, it'll bring you over to my fan page. And that is the only place right now. Facebook is having a glitch. It's the only place that I'm going to be able to see all comments and all questions. And I'm highly recommending, because the nature of this live, to do these quantum questions, me being able to see your comments and see your questions is super important. So if you will jump over to that place, you can either do the whole URL and type it in and jump over there, or since you're on, well, those of you that are on Facebook right now, you can literally go into the search bar and type in Brian space, look at the I, no Y, Brian space D space Ridgway. Because if you do Brian D with a dot, you're going to be on my profile and I will not be able to see your comments, okay? Those of you that are on YouTube, I will be able to see your comments as it stands. So what we are going to do, we are going to get started. I invite you to jump on, say where you're attending from, and then type in the things that you would like help with, the things you would like for me to address, the things that you want to change, the things that you are most concerned, upset, angry, sad, whatever is going on for you that I can possibly help with. If you will type that into the comments, I am going to be doing the quantum questions on that. We got Ireland, Arizona, Denver, the UK, Texas, that Republic of Texas, Idaho. All right, so nobody has any issues that they want any help with. I will just, hey, Peter in Belgium, good to see you, brother. Love you, man. I'm going to launch right into some quantum questions without anyone giving me anything that they want any quantum questions on then. How about that? Why is it true that these quantum question sessions, hey, Samantha, why is it true that these quantum question sessions are changing the world? Why is it true that I am absolutely free at all times? Why is it true that no matter what is going on in this world, I am ultimately absolutely free? Why is it that judgment and guilt dissolved from my being the minute I chose peace and presence? Why is it that I finally woke up and realized that judgment and guilt only exist in the mind and nowhere else? There is no tree or rock or refrigerator or glass jar or pickle or aardvark or star with any judgment or guilt whatsoever. Why did I finally realize that? When I realized that guilt and judgment are only things that exist in thought, that I decided to let thought go and choose presence. And when I did, why did judgment and guilt disappear and dissolve in the light? Why is it that although people are pushing for mandated face masks, our government leaders are actually waking up minute by minute and realizing that they're being lied to by authorities, that they were being forced to mandate things? The people above the government was mandating that the government mandate things on us. And why is our love and our consciousness and our choice of presence and our awareness in this very moment dissolving all the ideas that they have? Why is it that my sadness about what other people are choosing dissolved in the moment that I realized I'm responsible for me, not them? And if I choose to focus on my fresh air and my expressive human connection and my desire for oneness and love and joy and peace, if I focus on mine, then I'm actually in the effective place to bring about change if that's what I want. But why did I finally realize that when I was sitting sad, fretting about other people's choices, I was actually limiting my own ability to actually effect the change that I wanted to see in the world? Why did I finally dissolve the very illusion of boundaries and the need for boundaries? Why is it that I woke up and realized that boundaries, though not wrong or bad, are just another mental concept? And the fact is that a person who believes that they're separate in a world that's big and scary with bad things has a need to put up boundaries, but then they need to put security at their boundaries. Then they need checkpoints to make sure that nothing gets in and out of their boundaries. Why did I realize that when I choose to be fully present, I never have to have a thought of boundaries? So why is it that I'm waking up to realize that love is the only answer? Presence is the only answer, because when I'm present, I am love. When I'm thinking, I'm in fear and all these other things. So why is it that the very idea of boundaries dissolved in the light? I didn't have to make them wrong. I didn't have to make them bad. I just woke up and realized that they're only what I have to think about and worry about and make sure that I'm judging and make sure that I'm sitting on top of. And then I have to worry about struggling with my boundaries. And then I think I need help with my boundaries. And then so I chose to be present. Why is it that when I chose to be fully present, my judgment and guilt and thought about boundaries all disappeared, and I was able to spontaneously flow with all that is? Why is it that I thought that I was afraid of travel restrictions and new rules? But actually, I accepted the possibility that maybe travel restrictions and new rules were what was arising in the seeming out there as a result of my pre-existing fear. Why is it that I thought I was afraid of travel restrictions and new rules? And why is it I was afraid that something out there could keep me away from my family in a different country? But then I chose full presence, and I breathed, and I calmed myself, and I brought myself into a state of presence where I accepted the possibility. And when I accepted the possibility that maybe those restrictions are actually the results of my fear rather than my fears arising from them, why did everything change? Why did I rest in presence? Why is it that when I woke up and I thought that I was sad about this and that, and I thought I was upset about people doing those choices, why is it that when I did these quantum questions, suddenly I began to simply admit that it was just that I felt sad? And instead of me theorizing about my sadness and thinking about what I'm sad about and be fretting about what I'm sad about, instead I stopped and dropped into my sadness. And when I felt my sadness more fully and gently, why was I able to move into presence and once again choose peace? Why is it that I quit thinking that sometimes I am love? Why did I realize that I am always love? I am only love. I could only be love. Everything else is a misperception. Why did I realize that I am peace? Why did I realize that I am love and joy and peace? And every time I allow myself to simply be that, everything changes. Why is it that I finally stopped desiring to embody more of my higher self? And I realized I am it. What else could I ever possibly be? Why did I wake up and realize that wanting to embody more of my higher self might have been the thought that was preventing me from realizing I am my higher self now? And when I let go of those thoughts and I just became present, why did I finally hear Brian say, choose presence enough times that I just fucking quit thinking and I did it? Why is it that so many people are waking up about this virus? Why is it that so many people are using this experience with this virus to wake up? Why is it that I'm accepting the possibility that I brought this whole virus and everything else into my seeming outer experience to remind myself of what I was thinking and doing? Why is it that I finally accept the possibility that the virus and the masks and the mandates and all the might just be indicator lights on my dash of what I was projecting out into the world. And when I did, I took total responsibility. And when I took total responsibility and I quit worrying about what so many other people were doing, when I took total responsibility, why is it I was suddenly in the inspired, powerful place to be able to effect and be the change that I want to see in the world? Why is it that more and more people every day are doing the Breath of Light 2.0 in the Unconditional Happiness group, and then coming straight from that experience of radical oneness into this set of quantum questions, unmaking the matrix right now at 11:11 my time, whatever that's worth, for all you numerology fans? Why is it that I am love and all is love, and even this illusory experience is love? And why did I accept the possibility and wake up and realize that the virus is love? What the government is doing is love. What I'm feeling is love. And when I began to accept that if everything is love, then let me chill the hell out and relax a little bit and tap into my true self. And when I chose that and I began to rest in presence, why did everything change? And when I realized that everything was changing, why did I suddenly realize nothing is changing? This eternal love and joy and peace was always here. It's what I was. It's what I am. Why is it that when I chose presence, I realized nothing had to change? And yet, when I choose presence, I'm in the only state from which I can effect change if there is a change to change. Why is it that I accept the perfection of the illusion of being asleep? Why is it that I stopped fighting against anything? Why did I realize that I'm always the infinite, unlimited, eternal one that is infinitely awake? And I allowed it to be okay. And I stopped wishing for anything. I started intending from my power. Why is it that I quit thinking that my fear was about anything? Why did I finally, after a billion times of being reminded, why is it that after a billion times of hearing it and being reminded, I finally quit resisting and I realized that I don't feel fear about anything? And the thought and the speaking and the typing that I fear about, I'm angry about, I'm sad because I'm angry because this made me feel, why is it that I finally let all that go in the realization that if I feel fear and I say I feel fear about, I'm in my mental body avoiding it. But if I simply say, wow, that happened, I feel fear, let me feel my fear and breathe and choose presence, I can dissolve it every single time. Why did I finally get that? Why did I finally quit justifying and rationalizing and thereby perpetuating my anger, my sadness, and my fears? Why did I get that presence and love are the answer, and they are not two, they are one? So presence and love is the answer. Why did I finally get that, and why did I choose it? And when I chose it, why did everything begin to change? Now, those of you that are watching on my profile, I'm not seeing your comments. I will see them after the fact. I will be doing this again tomorrow at the exact same time. Why is it that when I feel like crying, I quit talking about it? and I just do it. And why is it that nowadays, when I cry, I actually breathe deep enough that I cry it out and I let it turn back into infinite possibilities. I let it express rather than crying, pressing it deeper into my cells and not letting it out. Why did I finally start to breathe deep enough when I express my emotion that I actually express my emotion and it gets to turn back into infinite possibilities? I love you. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Kathy, and you're welcome. Thank you, Brandis, and you're welcome.